A view to having male bosses in working places. What does having a male boss mean on a working place that consists mainly of women? Sometimes it is a question of chauvinism and thus something to be opposed, but also often it can be a question that the man in question is a quite nice guy and gets along with others kind of without any bigger problems, so that's why they choose him, and that he gets along is often mistakenly taken as a result of chauvinism when it's probably a consequence of him being one of the only ones who can follow both women's and men's roles, so he can always choose the nicest road around troubles, don't need to run into the troubles at all, because he has more freedom to maneuver in. And often the troubles, the fights are consequences of too much sticking to the traditional roles of one's gender, sex and one's other roles. So what's then having male bosses on working places that consist mainly of men? That's often a consequence of chauvinism, or a consequence that the woman in the profession didn't know how to grasp the chance and asked to be a boss, even though her colleagues would have suggested it when they talk in a praising tone, but the woman has instead tried to reach social position in the working place via men's role. We are learning the men's role because in the men's working place the men are longing for the women's wisdom of life, which looks like ordinary common sense in the eyes of the men, when the things that all male environment do look like crazy, or they are too destructive and too one-sided without any insight into the human nature. So that's why the women who are just equals of the men in the same profession should aim at being bosses in the male-dominated professions, and just poorly mention as their own strength that they have women's cultural wisdom, which is lacking from the working place, so they have that enormous gift to give to the working environment. So they should not wait until the woman has learned to become more manlike and risen in the hierarchy, but take this diligent and skilled human being, this woman, to be a boss already at the phase when her strengths are equal to the others in the professional skills, and just women's cultural wisdom is her only asset over the others, because, for example, the women's cultural wisdom says that you should conversate about options, and that's well possible if your understanding is good, like most women have a good understanding, good enough, and they also are diligent, so they learn the basic things very well, so that's needed for being a boss, but you don't need to know exact details of all the things that you are going to discuss about. It's a fact that in all male environment it is just the rules of the game that need to be more human, and that's what a woman boss could give to the working environment, and that would be an enormous gift to the company and to the working place. And on the other hand, on women-dominated professions, women should gain freedom from the too rigid traditional roles and get freedom to grow as human beings, even when that means that they are somewhat different from others, and even break against the role in some morally acceptable ways. Thank you.